What's up, everybody? It's Nikita Speaks, or Miss Thomas, as most of my students know me as. Let me take these shades off so we can get real. So, all you guys are starting a school year. So you got new teachers, new friends. This is just the new. It's the new. I wanted to talk to you today about, I'm going to give you 2 key points. Before I even tell you the story, I'm going to give you 2 key points. Okay, so pay attention to this. The first one is be better. Okay, I'm going to explain it as we go on, but the first thing I'm going to tell you is be better. Very simple. The next thing I'm going to tell you is swag. I'm going to explain it to you. Swag is very simple. Okay, swag. If you got it, you got it. If you don't got it, you don't get it. Meaning you don't understand it. Okay? So a kid comes up to me and he says, Miss Thomas, I don't know what's going on. This teacher, she doesn't like me. She's always telling me to move my seat and telling me I have an attitude, and I don't even have an attitude. I don't even know what she's talking about most of the time. And just, going on and on and on about how this teacher just really isn't feeling him. So, first question I always ask every single person when they get into an altercation or situation is this: what could you have done differently? And he says nothing, and then I asked him the question again, and he's still saying nothing. He couldn't come up with anything at all. So I said, let me talk to you for a second about Miss Thomas. I said, one thing is Miss Thomas like anybody in this building? Is Miss Thomas like any teacher that you've ever even seen? He's like, no. I said, but do I do a good job? When you with me, do you learn? He's like, yes. Do you think that I love you? He's like, yes. So ultimately you could say that I'm a good teacher, right? He's like, yeah, of course. So I said, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people who may think different. Now, not because they've seen me teaching or seen me do things that may make me a bad person or appear to be a bad person or appear to be something else that I'm not, but it's that they don't understand me. See, that's the thing. You're starting a new class. This teacher doesn't know you from a can of paint. And on top of that, you guys are very different. You have a much older teacher and you are a much younger boy. So it's one of those things that, and it's one of those things that it's just 2 people who don't understand each other. And at some point, between communication and you doing what you're supposed to do, eventually you guys will come to an understanding. So I said, the thing about having swag or being different, and you recognize that someone sees that you're different and they're misunderstanding you, that puts you in a position to have to be better. Now, I don't even think that you should ever have to be put in a position to be better. You should just want to be better every day anyway. But for the sake of this discussion, I'm going to tell you how to do, because I have to live this every day. I have swag. We all know this. It's inevitable. It just is. And a lot of kids with this same swag can be misunderstood. But when you have swag, you have a responsibility. Okay? Because if a person doesn't have swag, remember I said they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand it. So if they don't have this swag that you have to be better. When I come to work, I don't come to work on time. I come to work early. If they tell me test scores have to be 10% higher, I make my test scores 20% higher. Okay? If they say be at this meeting at this time, I'm early for that meeting. Wear this, I'm wearing it. And I'm wearing it and looking good in it when I wear it. I carry myself above average, above the standard. I carry myself better. You know why? Because with this swag, people may already have a bad understanding of what it is. So I can't give them anything else to say, see, yep, I told you so. But if they misunderstand me, and then they're like, wait, but her test scores are high and she comes to work on time all day. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that person. Okay? And I wanted him to do the same thing. So I told him, when you come to school, you don't come to school late. You don't come to school on time. You come to school early. Be the first person to hand your work in. Don't just do your work and be like, I'm done. Do your work. Check your work. And then hand it in. See, the thing about swag is, it's not just what you look like, how you dress, your attitude. Okay? When you are the best and you have swag, you have to be the best and have swag all around, because it's a responsibility that comes with that swag. Okay? Just believe that sometimes people who don't have it are not going to get it. They're not going to get you. So as long as you're being better, being a better you, then they'll realize, well, maybe he is a good student, and maybe that wasn't an attitude, and because he always hands his work in on time, and he always does this and he always does that, and then you'll start to learn their opinion of you will change. This is the reality, kids. I'm going to give you the inside scoop, okay? Teachers talk. Teachers used to talk about me all the time. They thought I was a terrible student. Some teachers thought I was a great student. Some teachers thought I was stupid. Some teachers thought I was smart. But they talk. So if you got into trouble a lot last year, believe me, they told their next year teacher, because that teacher asked them, how is that person? And they told them, well, this person has an attitude. Now let's say you don't have an attitude. But if I already think you have an attitude, then as soon as you do something, as a teacher, I'm like, oh, that's an attitude. So that's why it's important that with that swag, you be better. A teacher says something to you when she's wrong, she's human. She made a mistake. Just be like, okay. And then later on, free time, when you see that teacher outside of that situation, you can say, Miss or Mr. such and such, I mean, when you told me to stop doing that, I stopped doing that, but I just wanted to let you know that it wasn't me that did that thing. You know, have to communicate, and you have to be better. So the moral of the story is what? Swag. If you got it, you got it. If you don't got it, then you just don't get it. So my advice to you people with all this swag is be better.